the grand final itself.
Let's hop on into it then. Rule 1 going to take to the orange side. Infinity in the blue. This time round, Infinity have to win 2 best of 7s to take the crown. Rule 1 just have to do it. Who knows, maybe in 4 games once again. Rule 1 looking already having the king's portion of all the possession.
Well, hopefully we won't have a pawn sacrifice between the setup and play here, because there's been a few decently attempts here, but Rule 1 started off from the uppers, already scoring within a few seconds of kickoff.
Van Pierce with knockway to the backboard, the right idea, but no one else in defense. Suspect has him ready for that follow-up. Rule 1 with so much pressure, being able to push through that first goal. Well, it looks like the winners' finals already kicking off once again, eh?
Yeah, but Bacon, we were asking it, the question, was it a case of lacking of preparation? They had to go through a few teams to get back into this opportunity. Falcons would love it, Twisted Minds would like that opportunity, but here we are, they have a second crack at it.
You gotta think as well for Infinity, right? This is the best performance they've ever had. So now go that extra mile to go into winning it all. That's a lot to ask, especially against a team just as good as Rule 1. Proof from the pudding right here. Straight over towards Martin, and that is clean.
It was a very much what we expected from Rule 1 setup, but again, have to harbour it on to, because I think Relic made it highlighted earlier about the double commits in certain key situations, and it's been plaguing them since day 3. What they were capable of doing that day 2, the fabulous run, that sort of whimsical tale everybody's been talking about. They can't afford to do it here.
You see also that maybe Falcons again a little bit too predictable, as Infinity don't have the coverage of Rule 1, allowing for open net opportunities like that. Suspect had to get the hit away, but there was not a follow-up.
Could be the case because we've been talking quite firmly on what Falcons can do, Twisted Mind can do, Bacon. In fact, Infinity haven't been in this situation. We talk about the consistency, yes, it's good, but no follow-up. Rightly so, should be somebody at this level. There should be options left or right here, and that's why we see this 3-0 deficit already.
Or not. Back into the blue half, perfect there for Rawas. Gonna be able to get much of it though. Van Pierce, definitely the player to watch, I'd say, for this Infinity roster to create some magic.
You would hope so, but again, it's one of those days here at this point in time, you just want any of the 3 to step up here. But yes, it would be great to see if he got the service, but right now, forcing too much the issue by himself here, David.
Whoa, Hatem does dislodge the ball, taking it straight towards Rawas. Easy save towards the corner. What's going for follow-up damage as well? So Infinity starting to get their playbook open, you know, the licking their thumbs, turning the pages, currently on page 3, but maybe the answer is just not there.
I think page 3 is still the glossary, Bacon.
Well, maybe they're looking it up then. Maybe use this game 1, right, as the inspection game from Suspect there. That's not a bad way to finish it off, but realistically, you're going to be looking towards Rule 1 and saying, Arzen jumping at the ball, needed a 3rd man back, and Rule 1 maybe a little bit overconfident.
I would love to see your textbooks, Bacon.
I left school like over 10 years ago, buddy. They are in a dumpster somewhere, probably a landfill now.
Could at least recycle them. The Infinity might need a few of those to be pulling out the tricks here today, but if you're as old-fashioned as I am, Bacon, they're leather-bounded, but today the plastic caravan will do quite nicely here, and there could be wipe away a few problems too.
Oh, 50-50 so now wide. Killers was there. That's a perfect position to pick this one up. Hard shot towards net, but Hatem going to be able to block that one out, Mosen. Nice little pop up and over for Van Pierce. I love that. Climbing the ladder, suspected of just what his opposition were thinking of doing.
What was at least needed, what was at least expected from it, but again, the textbook that we've been talking about, there's still that one where we even haven't mentioned creativity. Where's the play? Where's the development? Where's it coming through here? Rule 1 for the opening game here. Far too comfortable.
Infinity haven't been given those opportunities, I would argue here, Dan. You know, look at their amount of boost. It's always quite often below 50. Rule 1 has been zoning them on out. Sure, you can argue Rule 1 normally don't have a lot of boost bats because they use quite a lot of it. Even in cases like this, they throw it towards their own teammates there in that case, or right now towards their opposition's net. But they're just sort of like, I don't know, hopeful attempts. There's not really much to back it up.
Well, there's been no threat here, and you talk about the boost situation here. When Rule 1's went on that counter, at least 2 of them are above 50. One of them's were quite scarily, always near enough at 100 here. Infinity, look at that counter there, always so consistency low, and that there just shows you what they're doing isn't quite working, but that's needs to have been much better than just a simple pass in the box.
Now, if you're an Infinity fan, you gotta be hoping there that that is Rule 1 still at the top of the game. Rule 1 aren't just, you know, relaxing a little bit, you know, taking their finger off of the RT trigger a little bit purely because it's in the final moments. No, Infinity are working out their opposition, coming up with ideas. Ramp is not going to be able to turn around on that. Killer's just been allowed to stroll downfield with that.
Confidence, that's what you're able to do with it, but it's also, let's be fair, the end of this opening game, Bacon. I think both sides are just happy, you know what, let the ball die, let it rest, and let's look at it this way, Bacon, here. Rule 1, they didn't need to do anything. That's the level they've decided to play at. Infinity, what do you have here? What do you have on table here? Because that wasn't a lot here of showing.
The hopeful shots, as I described them earlier, towards their opposition's net were easy pickups because Rule 1 don't overcommit. They don't send too much downfield. Quite often you'll see Mosen back in defense, being able to just keep that up, you know, not knock it back towards the midfield to one of his teammates. Easy peasy. So Infinity needs structured passing plays downfield, maybe even a demo, a bump in there as well. Shadow plays also an option. Here in game 1, we didn't see any of that really. We did see a couple of, I would argue, infield passing plays, you know, right in front of net, but they were a little bit too slow to realistically beat out the defense of Rule 1.
Yes, fully agree with that. And you mentioned it first, and it was harbored pretty much this entire opening game. It's the boost counter. Now, you might just be looking at it sort of going, well, we're focusing a lot of attention on it. The fact that, look at the position of where the play is, look at what's being caused by it. How much of that's being used alone in the final third or just in the clearance alone here? Far too much being wasted, far too much been given away, and it's allowing Rule 1 to run rampant. Quite slow for a rampant, but it's good enough.
Okay, game 2 underway. Let's head on over towards the Forbidden Temple. Well, Infinity's so close to being able to get that stunner of an opener.
Would have been fabulous, but on the other side, Rule 1 would like to have a stamp of their own. Good save.
Keeping the pressure up right now, Ruas. Taking us down towards the field, but Hatem going to be able to get that out. Mosen up towards the center. Suspect coming on in. Blocked out again. Mosen brilliantly, but Kalir's not going to be able to get touched. Ruas delivered perfectly to his feet. Infinity have got to be careful. They need a little bit better precision on their shots to really tackle the defense of Rule 1. That was too easy.
Well, there's Mosen with at least a chance, popping, shooting, just trying to get everything away from it. Anything far from that could be so much more, and there could be Infinity knocking on the doorstep of a goal here. Rule 1 will attempt it. They've thrown it high up here, and it could be so much better, so much more deliberate. But mind you here, minute played, and Bacon, my words, we have seen an attacking side of the game. We have seen a goal.
This is the Infinity that could take down the Falcons. We didn't see them for 5 whole games, but now they're back in action.
Here we have it. That's what we wanted. You can spend a few moments there and get that done and achieved. Infinity, excellent by that one. Rule 1 scrambled a few thoughts here. 3 attacking players here, 2 on the back wall, and a double commit by Infinity. We just said that may have been an issue earlier here, a potential opportunity knocking here by Infinity, tap to the corner, control by Rule 1, pressure, domination, and an excellent save there by Infinity.
Off the wall. Mosen just having to backtrack this. You can see there was a whole sea of blue in front of him, and well, that's a bit of a scary sight, but does hold the nerve. Rule 1 under threat, but they're dealing with it well.
Certainly so. That's a decent block here. You want to talk about dealing with it. That's certainly what Infinity has been causing Rule 1 to do. Achievement, ticked, advancement again. Maybe a qualification from the great school of digital bacon here, but I'd like to see the award ceremony for that one.
Can already feel the theme for today is apparently schooling, and well, I'm not gonna lie, Rule 1 did school Infinity back there in the winners finals, but right here and now Infinity are bouncing back. They've been going to those night classes. They want to get the certificate of grand finalist, and well, they definitely have earned it so far.
Certainly so, but you know, the certificate's nice, good grade,
yeah.
you know, decent school, but you know what? I think they could do better. I think they could step it up and call themselves champion of the region.
Valedictorian, and well, who knows? I would even class winning it all as a bit of a Masters, a definite master class coming on out from some of the teams here today. Infinity, can they pull it out once again? 2 minutes left, and well, Rule 1 are knocking on that door right now. Mosen looking to drop it, blocked out. What a save that was from Vampires.
Another block here. Might be talking about originally what was old-fashioned O levels in the opening game here, ramping up slightly a bit more here, the specifications. I know, Bacon, here you're giggling away at the old-fashioned O levels.
You're younger than me. Might not see.
Chat doesn't know that. In fact, Wikipedia doesn't even know that.
Sorry, what is that? Fourth wall break, whatever, you know. The breakdown of the old man Danny character. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right, Bacon. I'm just going to sit here now and tip my top hat off and let you have it away here while I just sit miserable looking at my mug.
I doubt you're looking miserable right now after a goal like this, Clears. Oh, that's a beauty.
I am miserable, Bacon.
That's just part of the course, really, for you. Like, the moments where you see it smile on Danny's face now, that is a magical moment indeed. For us going for a second, though, this could be a magical moment for Rule 1. Instead, turn around into a nightmare. Vampires with the shot. That is a response.
Certainly so. You wanted a smile. I think there may have been one drawn on the pitch there. Two players dotted quite perfectly parallel from each other. And the feed up, Bacon. People don't talk about the passing, but that was delivered well.
Infinity, after being pretty much MIA for 5 games, now in the 6th time of asking, have really shown us that this is how they took down the Falcons. This is why they're in the grand finals. And this is a chance, the way that they're going to take the gold. But Rawash showing, nah. Falcons down. This is Rule 1's time to shine.
That's if they can shine, Bacon, because there have been times where we just have a question doing when is Rule 1 going across. If Infinity has taken past champions down, it's not as simple as that.
It is. Downfield, looking to follow up onto it. Rule 1 need a goal now. Look at the time. It's near enough gone. Suspect with another shot on net. That was wide open. But, so close. They've got to play Rule 1 right now. It's in their name, but is it their nature to keep it alive? Popped up in front of net. They all back off. Mosen bumped away. Infinity take game 2.
Fabulous performance. Credit to Infinity. They played the game, but mind you, and this is the bit that annoys me, Bacon. I'm going to let you in here a wee bit more further. The fact that that shot went wide, the opportunity passed there by Infinity, they should have buried that at 3-1. That needed to have been a bigger scoreline just to say Rule 1. This isn't your pitch. You got here, yes, through the uppers by beating us. We're going to beat you at your own game here.
I mean, it would be a statement. And, well, we did do a little bit of a weather forecast beforehand. It said, you know, high chances of rain and bracket resets. And I don't know, you had that comfy moment earlier where you were saying, oh, I don't need to take a coat out with me, you know, after seeing the winners finals. But those storm clouds, they are brewing up above.
I do love a good Rocket League forecast. I believe Dr. Trox, the great weatherman that he is here, did say that it is. Oh, it's going to be a showery day, apparently. I think a few tears might be ended up on after Game 7 here, Bacon.
Let's have a little bit of a breather, eh? Going into Game 3, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's one game out of, well, the two have faced up against each other. It's 5-1 in favor of Rule 1. It should still be Rule 1's to take, but who knows? There's that sort of strange trembling underneath. You can definitely feel the ground is shifting here, but is it shifting in favor of Infinity? Let's head on over to DFH Stadium and find out.
My word. The trembling of the ground here, Bacon. Do you know what? If it just wants to have that earthquake just to take it completely underneath the ground, oh, that's going to be a horrible feeling eventually. But the other point, if we're playing aggregate score here over across the entire split or in the tournament, I think there might be a few arguments here.
There's the confidence regained for Infinity. What a pass. Many people will be arguing that should have been sunk off first try, but no, that was clean to the third. It was communicated and it was meant to be.
Meant to be. Well, there's been a few questions here. There's even a Shakespearean quote on that one. To be or not to be with a flick like that. Unfortunately, it's to a team. It is to be.
Suspect. Wowee. The confidence of Hatem there. Watching it, waiting, lurking, a shark in the water, whatever you want to call it. Infinity had cracked the code to Rule 1.
Credit here to Infinity. If you were talking about those scores lines from earlier, you thought this was not possible. And for half a second, you thought, where was the keeper?
Yeah, the camera did us dirty there. Let's just face it, Twitch chat. We're looking the same thing you are, and yeah, I was nervous. I was sweating for a moment. Yes.
You were sweating. I think all the fans were sweating as well too. That there is filth bacon.
Cut him through. But the turn in here. Oh, the delay, the wait. Everything you want, Ruas. Gonna bring things back. I wouldn't say in favor just yet of Rule 1, but it's still 4 minutes up on the clock. Let's just see how this one unfolds.
Hope you got a map, Bacon, because this might be one of those ones where even the pathway might be wrong on the old GPS tracker here.
I was gonna say, I've got my phone out, I'm looking at maps here, and unfortunately, zero signal. I didn't have the foresight to download it beforehand, so, well, I'm looking at my feet, looking at the floor. This is uneven terrain. Let's just see how we ride this one out, Danny.
Certainly so. And straight down the field on that one, we described this one as maybe earthquake levels here. Well, Falcons sent the signal, the warning to the region here. There is 3 points to catch up to them. Unfortunately for them, Rule 1 need to catch up with that scoreline. They've still been held in defence since there.
Is not going to be able to obtain the flip reset there. Holds the dodge. Second time of asking, but was given so much space and time. Confidence from Infinity there. They couldn't really work much from it. And it is that confidence that is the deal maker for Infinity. But on that backline defense, Rule 1 is solid, especially up high above their net.
They have been, and it's credit to them. They're just giving themselves that sort of safety net of the second person to follow through. But looked at Infinity's players earlier there. They were passing, they were trying to find each other. We were wondering when that was the case there. Rules 1's attempts, mind you, not as clinical, Bacon. That sort of A-tier gameplay that you were wondering how long it's going to be lasting hasn't lasted as long as we thought.
Well, things feel, dare I say, more in favor of Rule 1 right now in this moment of time, purely because there's more space between the players here. Rule 1 have allowed this game to slow down a little bit, and that pulls them in. Infinity like that high pace. We saw it earlier against Falcons.
Certainly so, but I'm going to have to disagree with you, Bacon. What? I would favour the team here willing to aggress based on the current meta. I know it's shocking. I normally go for the defensive-based teams, but we near enough seen the more likely chance going in that blue strip of Infinity there.
Like, Twisted Mind slowed the game down against Infinity. That's what made things awkward for them. Clears, though, oh, that's just a spanner in the works. Suspect gets across just in time.
Maybe there might be a translation or two based on what we're talking to being problematic in those textbooks of Bacon. Sometimes it's not as black and white. Sometimes us as Alice, we have arguments.
Interpretation,
between the two of us.
yes.
Yeah.
It's difficult. 110. Left up on the clock. And this has become as stalematey as you could ask for, Dan. Like, Rule 1 are hunting for that equalizer, but they're going to have to keep on looking. That's a minute with 2 goals to find now. That was, dare I say, 2-3.
Nothing in this game is too free, Bacon. Present it with a big rectangle and you just look at it from the halfway line. Like us taking our glasses off, where's that net? Sometimes you might be blindsided.
I think your issue is taking your glasses off to find the net. You should be putting them back on, but like...
I might be better without my glasses the way I play sometimes.
Well, fitting with everything in the shop right now, yeah, just use the force, that's it. Maybe you'll be able to find the net that way. And powerful shot bomb, but Suspect just derails it, puts it off to the side. Finally, leave that there. I don't know if Suspect was called off by Atom, but nonetheless throws it down into the orange half. Ruas with the chance, clears with the demo. The ball's too high, and Ruas can't finish it off.
Big opportunity. Ran away there. We just saw Suspect as well, just pushing it further up. Rule 1. Bacon said this earlier. Looking the better side here. I hate to say it, Bacon, but I told you so. Suspect agrees. 4-1.
Rule 1, yes. For 90% of the game, look the better team. I will stand by that statement. But that next 10%, I mean, they gotta go away and look in the mirror because it just crumbles. There is no reason for the tomfoolery happening. And Infinity are ready to pick up the pieces. They are 2-1 up in this game, which Rule 1 should be now taken by all accounts. Rule 1 should be the favorites, but something has gone wrong. I don't know what it is, though. It feels so weird.
I think we can go back somewhat even further to your own point, Bacon, about the speed. Yes, the speed slightly slowed down at times, sped up when Rule 1 especially wants it. When you looked at the Twisted Mind series here, yes, the space even was given. But look at the oppositions who you're playing with. Infinity has caused the game to be scrappy in variation between every match they played so far here. Going further back to against the upper bracket final, when these two played together, it was much quicker. Rule 1 did not allow them to dictate it. That has gone. That has changed since the second game here.
One thing I noticed as well, not only by the stats pointing out that, you know, over 950 points in favor of Suspect was just every single one of those highlights basically had Suspect involved at some point, whether it was in defense or attack. The lad is having a pop-off day. A little bit like we saw of SMW earlier for Twisted Minds. It is just the time is right, the team is popping, the vibes are good. Well, will they be able to keep this party bus bopping? That's the question, Danny.
I don't know, Bacon. I'm not a fan of parties person myself, but I'll even put a party hat on for you just to keep the celebration going, because Infinity, they deserve to have the celebration, but unfortunately the confetti is not ready yet.
To be able to attest, I've never seen someone look so happy to visit the library, folks at home. But nonetheless, we have a game in front of us. It's Utopia Coliseum, Dan.
Yes, a Coliseum where there's certainly no textbooks in this particular map. but there will be certainly a few gladiators maybe prowling the pitch as well, just to get on to Falcons. Well, they may be tier A. They want the bin here. That's where rule 1 here. We're in the back lines here. What have they got? And do you know what's surprising as well? We saw a timeout called in a similar situation from here. Rule 1 hasn't decided that he needed it yet.
Has been 2 in a row for Infinity. And well, I think that confidence, that decision is just on the money. This, clip it, ship it, send it to Reddit. That is easy free karma.
Oh, what was even fabulous was a bump on Suspect. More little details of the game, but when it's done spectacularly well, it is worthwhile learning just sometimes, and Psycho laughs at me, but I call it the dark arts of the game somewhat. It plays so well.
It does definitely feel like magic, I can tell you that. What does Infinity do now? After having all that confidence, all that, dare I say, leeway in the last 2 games, how do they turn things on their heads? How do they get things going in their favor, especially now that Rule 1 feel pretty much locked in?
I think in this case here, you don't sit here and worry too much, because that sort of 10% that you described it earlier, they played well enough to get those opportunities, and that was poorly played by Rule 1 standards.
Suspect again, though, is the one to dislodge. Vampire should have got the touch to get it away, but I mean, that was a wild angle to be coming in from. Don't blame him for not hitting it. And you can see Infinity as well off the back, even not hitting that ball, still have that security in defense because the time was bought from that first play.
Certainly so, but again, you have to have that understanding, right? If you can't see them behind you, why are you delaying it, especially when you have an open net? That to me is a strange call. That to me sense here, somebody in the columns of Rule 1 said hold for a second, and that's a fabulous save.
The man of the moment coming again for that save. Had him to get a block out. Vampires sending it wide off to the side. Suspect with the shot. It's going to be just high of net. No one there for the follow-up though.
Not yet, but a bang downfield here. You can just maybe hope for somebody to grab at the end of it. That's a decent block here, and Nazir's done well here just to slow it down, and that might be a wide open net. This time, they won't slow down.
Rule 1 with a 2-goal lead. That's looking much healthier for them. The chances of taking this without the bracket reset are sprouting, but is it going to blossom and bloom into the success that Rule 1 want? We know, everyone from that org would be having the confidence there saying, yeah, this is just a bump in the road. It's no biggie. We take the next 3, but Infinity they have shown great strength here.
I've been wondering where that sort of day 2 performance was, and yet it went missing. We're seeing elements here by Infinity, and that's a decent little play to get themselves out of trouble here. But Rule 1, I think everybody's expecting them here to sweep their opposition weight. That's not going to happen anytime soon here, but I'm a bit worried here, at least in Games 4 standards. Infinity might just be getting sort of caught in the headlights here.
In situations like this, Game 4 tends to see itself as a little bit of a cool-off game. Game 3 being those big impact games, but no Suspect ain't calling off anytime soon. I love the audacity from it.
You know what? If you can go for it and you can cause that disruption, do it.
See, from so many players having that mindset, and normally, you're calling the star player, the flair player, but generally they're a disrupting player, and that's the big deal. Even Vampires, has it in them, going off a play like that, not able to connect, but going in for the bump, the demo afterwards, beautiful.
It is, and this might be beautiful of its own with the bump play. You asked for a disruption, and you're enough had one there too, but again, it's the sort of the flip of the meta. Every so often we wonder, it's a defensive, it's attacking, and do you know what, Bacon? We're in this sort of strange uber aggression, but to the point here where it's not going for the demo. It just feels like we're being robbed of something here.
A deadly limbo. The issue is that it's deadly for Infinity. Clears once again getting a goal. Now sending Rule 1 up 3-0 in the series. Dan, I'm calling it now. We get a tied series, and well, realistically, I know it might be calling it a little early. I want to see Infinity just pull the stopwatch out, call for a minute, and just figure out here and now what was working in those games they've won, because this has been heavily in favor of Rule 1.
Bacon prediction being early as well as the timeout. Are you feeling okay, Bacon? Because you normally don't do that.
No. I don't give the crafter's curse, as we call it, right? Where don't call a game a minute before it ends, because anything can happen in that. But I think I was pretty safe and sound here with it, Danny, considering the 4th goal's just gone in for Rule 1.
Yes, I think you were well and truly safe, but I would have called it a 2. But again, I'm being a big meanie in that case, but shall we be a little bit more supportive here for Infinity's case? What do you change here, Bacon? Because to me here, there's nothing greatly to change. It's just that first minute of gameplay. Get yourself under control and ideally score the first goal. It's not an issue after that. It's just when they concede, we see the seams start unraveling.
Holy moly, can we just look at the points of the Twins there for a moment? Like, that is nutty. But as to the point of what do you change, the 50-50s just were not there for Infinity in this game, right? They weren't able to pull a player out of it, because if you win a 50-50 in so many cases, you can then follow on to the ball, right? Thus, you're there ready to be a third man or second man as needed. They weren't getting those chances in this game. Thus, the pace wasn't with them on those counterattacks, and thus, a lot of their attacks were just flops.
Yeah, and I have to agree with that, because that is the playstyle what you're hoping to get spicy with, that aggressive playstyle. What we are seeing as well is that second player following through. If the 50s are going so bad that you can't even get the second player to play onto it, you're causing yourself even more issues. So how do you adapt the playstyle? To me, I would change it. I would drop further back more. But again, how I would adapt to the game is not how the MENA playstyle, not how Infinity seems to be doing it right now.
No, but it is a good thing to see they did indeed call that timeout. I feel so big brain right now. Like, it's good. Locked me in. That's right.
Oh,
who's the coach for Infinity? Do we know? I'm going to quickly look it up. Give me a sec.
That's all right. Bacon's sort of sitting there, sort of going, I don't mind being the assistant manager.
Just pay me.
Go out. Yeah.
So Natra, who have they casted in the past? Ross Noobs. Back last year. So I have no clue, honestly, folks at home. Like, yeah, this is going to be weird. They got a team, a pretty, solid team to top 16 EU, that being UKIS, Whiskey, and Econ. But yeah, not UKIS, Whiskey, and Gek. So a very strong team there.
But are you describing the current coach of Infinity as like our spooks in APAC? Takes a really average team and somehow gets them up to the top 4.
I mean, that's a good, impressive effect of a coach. Spooks, you can pay me later. I'll send you my PayPal. Anyway, let's head on over. Head on over towards the Oasis. I love this map. Thank you, everyone at Science, for including it, because this is a work of art. I love this arena.
Oh, it's a fabulous stadium. I do want to have sympathy for Wasteland. It's special maps, special memories onto it.
This is way better than Wasteland, I'm sorry. At me if you...
Let me finish, Bacon. I actually agree with you. I know I don't say that very often, Bacon, but this map is more gorgeous.
Oh, easily. Anyway, Rocket League is happening, by the way. 50 seconds gone by. Oh, vampires! Yes, boy! That is crazy.
We wanted beauty. We were shown a beautiful map and a beautiful play to follow it. Do you know what's even more beautiful for the hat trick? That's Infinity taking the initiative as requested.
And off the back of a timeout, that confidence might just be back fixed. I'll throw a demo to boot as well. I think Infinity might have the answers here. Suspect Oh, even throwing this towards middle. There's Hatem going for the hit off the back, but Liz does stop it. Vampir's trying to swoop on in, thinks better of it, goes to the boost. Ras thinks, nah, you're not allowed that. Removes them from the game. However, they will be back in their own half, but not able to get there in time. Liz to seal the deal. We have got a game on our hands.
What? That doesn't make sense to me, Bacon, for half a second. That sort of small glimmer of a spark, I thought, you know what? Was that a save? Was it? Because I'll tell you this here in the comms, to half a second, somebody's going to say, I've got it, don't worry, we're going to follow through. And the game went, no. Rule 1. Bacon, we do have a game on our hands.
A real blink and you'll miss it moment for a lot of key plays here. Mosin down towards the ground. Liz does get the block off towards the side, but this is good for Suspect. Over towards Vampires. Oh, Rawas is up so early. What a read, a prediction there.
We have even a better one on the other end. Bacon, what a save to push it away too. But it's not over.
Vampires going to be able to get the block out on the right, sends it towards net, and there is no one home to answer. Mosin thought it was safe, started pushing out. Rawas couldn't get to the back post in time, and SpaghettiOs Infinity are up by a goal.
Second team, Infinity, what was asked to be changed? We were sitting there scratching our heads somewhat for the approach of them. Rule 1 here, I think we might need to be looking and shining a spotlight on them, Bacon, because that's another attempt on target against them.
Just be aggressive, be aggressive is the tone that's being set right here for Infinity. A motto you can live by, just completely in the face, it up in the grills of Rule 1, and it is working. They're a little bit phased. It's increasing the pace of the game. Like I said earlier, that's better for Infinity. And that confidence, Hatem, if you connect with that, mwah, chef's kiss of a play.
Well, certainly some talks earlier about pinches and sort of the speediest goal. I believe it's Maxwell who has it in an RLCS match. Of course, Irish legend, of course, second best player from that particular country.
Not even touch the wow.
You're not going to touch what, Bacon?
Anything about Ireland, because right now we should full focus on MENA and Kaliz, because actually, do we want to focus on Kaliz or Rawas? Because the whole play was just a gobsmacker.
Well, I know Infinity couldn't touch the play, Bacon. You can talk about any of those two, rightly so, but to me, and you know me well enough, Bacon, I'll always focus on the pass more. That gave the opportunity. The shot had to been delivered. It took that moment, but the pass was more exquisite.
And Piers has kept great control of this. The convert over towards Hatem. And Piers as well. With third boost can be involved, but that's towards Suspect. Oh, the read was so close to intercept.
Might have been close, and that's technically a double commit in Infinity. Oh, this is one of those ones here you just sense that maybe the occasion's getting to them.
The adjustment in the air was also really good. Hatem was up nice and early. Maybe it was as a fake, but seeing that they had no chance to connect it on over, they just fell it, let it go to the ground, and reset.
Certainly so, and that's not a reset of this particular play here. I think Infinity, you talk about the space, talk about the speed. Infinity just needs to take a moment to breathe here. They're just racing to the ball. They're just trying to get to it. Yes, it's the play till it's working here, but develop a quality opportunity. There's a minute left. Do not be foolish. Allow Rule 1 into their half here for nothing.
Infinity are playing instinctual Rocket League right now. They are not thinking, they're not breathing, they are just go, go, go. Bossio said it, don't try, just go straight for whatever opportunity is right in front of you. With 30 seconds left to go, this is feeling like one goal is going to decide everything now.
Alright, so that's Vampires at least getting one touch away. Suspect, slow dribble. At least there was an attempt to try to go through with control. This has to be saved. Fabulous this time around, but there is problems coming, knocking, and another tip away.
Suspect. Oh, has left the ball behind. That's popped up towards middle. Hatem with a clearance downfield. That might be enough, but with Rawas and co lingering, Mosin off the backboard clears is there. Suspect knocks it to 4. We've got another OT in game 5.
You're just worried there's somebody if Real One was going to follow and tip that one in for a poacher's goal.
Well, it was dangerous, yeah. Okay. Well, you asked for a breather. This might be it for... Nope. Nope, it's not a breather. It's a blooming good play.
You just thought for half a second there, you thought, you know what? This should be saved, it should be pushed, there should be no danger. And Infinity just sat there at the sort of the stepway or the park bench and went, help me.
But the streak continues, I guess, of, you know, taking timeouts and it not being good for you. It looks so good at the start there, though. Infinity now, whilst, yes, this is dangerous, whilst, yes, one more game and Rule 1 go away with gold, Danny, I don't think Infinity are out. You would be doing them a discredit to say so.
I think even the words here, Infinity losing the next 2 games here, just for the respect to Rule 1 here, no, Infinity's played too well here for that to be one straightforward sentence that nobody questions. Bacon, the idea has just complexed me there, Bacon. That's I'm surprised he even came up with that one, Bacon, because there's been no sign here to say that at all here. Yes, it's match point, it's championship point, yes, but Infinity's played too well here to just knock them away just like that easily.
It makes you think, where was this team in the upper bracket finals, right? Like, if they were here earlier, this could have been a whole completely different day. But nonetheless, the end destination, the journey has still been fun. And this grand finals has definitely been fun so far. But Twitch chat and Danny, I will ask you this question as well. How do we will into question the bracket reset? Because I think we're deserving of it.
I think it's just a simple case we all just support Infinity, even Rule 1 fans, because why not have more gameplay from the team you support? Simple equation, Big.
Yep, we get the bracket reset, and then Rule 1, you can go back to supporting Rule 1. We're absolutely fine with that, aren't we?
Yeah. I see no other way, Bacon. Yep. Or just Infinity just comes out, hit a psycho, quad flip reset, or, you know, anything just spectacular, make Rule 1 envious.
Well, 30 seconds gone by. Infinity definitely doing enough to stay in contention right now, but Rule 1 are looking pretty calm, pretty concise, and Khalid is looking for the net. Blocked out at the last moment by Vampires. But look at this pickup by Rawas. Suspect, though, is definitely the player that Rule 1 need to focus their attention on to get rid of.
Certainly so, but again, the Suspect is creep at the sort of the net there after the demo. Rule 1 here have at least added that portion into the game, and you could probably just see statistically it's crept a little bit more every game so often. It's not to the point here where it's overbearing, where Infinity's just keeping an eye on it. They just know it's coming, we don't know how it's and when.
Suspect last man back does not miss the corner. This is going to buy so much time. This is great for Infinity. You can see Vampires has had the chance to pick at 100. Hatem, though, didn't really get much, and actually has got a demo onto Khalid's, but it's not going to result in much. Maybe just buys him a little bit of time, but this is awkward in front of net.
Certainly so. You just felt with how both opportunities at either side of the pitch have been unfolded a little bit more cleanly, but this grand final has been far from that sort of exquisite mechanics has been unraveled, and that's a good demo. Shot on, however, needs a bit more power directed on target.
It had the accuracy, but yes, the power was lacking. Mosin looking up for Khalid. The shot is on, going for the second touch, and it is exquisite. Oh, delectable.
I did say, you know, this game is lacking an exquisite bit of mechanics or gameplay, because it has been a scrappy affair, but that's elegance, Bacon. Rule 1 showing they're worthy of a crowd and make everybody jealous at the same time.
That's why they're going to be saying, no, this grand final, this tournament is theirs, and well, they'll also be etching on the markers. of going up for the majors. They think it's their time to shine. It is the spring split, and it is Rule One's to take. Anyone that steps in their way is going to be turned aside halfway into game number 6. Infinity have got to answer this right now, or it could just slip away from them. Roas, oh, second time gets it.
Rule One, full credit. Look at that there, just forces the 50 move across here. I have absolutely no real good reason why the Infinity goalkeeper, I'll save the embarrassment of the name Bacon. Going up the wall, low push, yes, that's okay, but you're given so much space, so much information away for Rule One to slot one home anywhere other than where he was in the net.
The answer to you there, Danny, is just it was a moment of panic when you have got Rule One running towards your net. That looked scary there for a moment as well, but Suspect take the ball to the sky. Still has a little bit of boost, maybe even a dodge left over there, but now Vampires takes it off wide. Still the better part of 2 minutes. Infinity can pull themselves back into this one, but well, Rule One, they are fired up.
Certainly. So why wouldn't you get yourself into championship points, score 2 goals, and making the last 2 minutes absolutely hurtful for Infinity to get back into it? You could not ask for a better position. It's just do not make anything silly in these moments here.
Defense just holding on, going for the Cook's pinch. Doesn't really get it. There's Kaliz passing it down for Mosen, but Suspect to intercept. Even gets another one there. Vampires needs to get a big boot downfield. No, leaves it!
Do you need a hug, Bacon?
I have no answer for this. A hug would be nice, I guess.
It's okay. There may be a few hugs
No.
and counselling for Infinity. 2 goals in the last 20 seconds has been ruled on in by just a slip of a mechanical ability of the controller, and Bacon, oh no, doesn't even cover it.
And I think Twitch chat are justified with the spam coming on through right now. Rule One, you cannot say they haven't deserved this. 4 goals, 1 minute is going to take a Christmas miracle come early for Infinity to turn this around.
I thought it may have been 5 there for half a second. I was just giving the respect to Rule 1. But you asked for a Christmas miracle, they may have to ask for a birthday wishes. Maybe the Easter Bunny as well too. It needs the whole works here right now, and that's going to be goal number 5. Rule 1 opportunity taken at its utmost opportunities.
A play like that getting stopped, getting blocked out by the Rule 1 defense and then quickly turned into a counter. It almost feels destined that Game 6 was going their way. Rule 1, I think already every single fan is going to be grinning ear to ear at a display like this. And then the hints of going to majors now written up on the wall, especially with that 4th place finish from Falcons. Oh, spring is their time.
Is it any other team to really pop off? Well, this is the time to. They've been close all season long, Bacon. We've followed them from fall. And we were wondering when Rule 1 was going to become champions. We might just have one.
I mean, they are looking like a good racehorse right now. You don't sprint at the start, then you leave it for the end and just hit them at the line. Rule 1 are going to be your Spring Open champions of MENA, and they have looked good doing it. Coming on in from that upper bracket. I mean, I now need to go away and have a quick little look at how many games they dropped here, Dan, but by my quick calculations, it was a mere 3 games, 2 of them to Infinity.
And that just shows you how much that Rule 1 was able to dominate this 3rd day alone, Bacon. That's there is scary enough here, because the kings of the region, the ones who've been to the major, all majors,
was out at 4th. Bacon, out at 4th. They're not even in the conversation of getting into the grand final. And Rule 1, there's the proof there.
Well, they just made hay while the sun shined, basically. And, well, Falcons now, the ball's in their court. They've got to win both next time of asking, right? Like, that's their way to make it to the grand finals, to stop out Rule 1, who are going to be absolutely grinning right now. And from a performance like today, quite frankly, I can just say they are the best team in the region. But that top 2, I think the glass ceiling to that position has just been smashed. Twisted Minds and Infinity can go away with, just a massive sense of achievement to get to this level, which has not been seen all season long.
Oh, the fact that we're talking about that sort of race analogy of which horse is going to go further up the field here and maybe nip that post as well. Let's not forget here, 3rd place could be potentially for Worlds as well too.
Yeah.
There's so much on offer here. It's just not these two. And we might even be in the scenario, this might even sound mad here. But we're in the potential, is there a world maybe where there's no Falcons if they keep on with a performance like that? But that sounds so silly at this point right now.
I mean, technically, Twisted Minds could take the spot away from Falcons going to Worlds, but I'm a realist and I'm saying that's not happening. That is asking too much. Rule 1 to usurp them for the Spring Major, I think is definitely on the cards. Infinity and Twisted Minds to come back and keep challenging at this top level, but we're then doing a discredit because to the wayside, we're sort of forgetting about Onyx, Ravens, Cam, Fivehead, Empire that could now be looking at this and coming back to the Cup in 2 weeks' time and thinking, let's have a crack at it as well. How far can we go? The double elimination bracket is a thing of wonder and dreams, and I'm loving it all.
Certainly so, and that scenario, Bacon, could be the case here. And do you know what, with that double bracket as well, Falcons could fall earlier in the tournament. It could quite literally happen in the lower round 1 or 2. It just takes one bad day. You just have to look at North America for that scenario to unfold. But Bacon, there's the bracket there. If anybody needed confirmation of what we just witnessed tonight.
I don't think we can truly unpack everything in here when you look at simple things like in round 1, Infinity had a face-off against Cola. That led to Fivehead and Cola facing off in the lower bracket round 1 and Cola going out. That was a top 6 easy team, right? The whole entire bracket has been madness. I said that Rule 1 only dropped 3 games throughout the entire bracket. Go towards upper bracket round 1. That other game was to Wichita Wolves of all teams, right? That's going to be a team we then have a little look in the future and see where do they end up. Unfortunately, they were dropped to Sharpness in the lower bracket round 1, but nonetheless, so many good teams finally coming through MENA, and I think it just comes down to great players on the wrong teams, and we're finally starting to see the other squads figure out where they need to be.
Certainly so, but Bacon, I think that would be a fair point to conclude ourselves on this MENA Open itself here. But Bacon, before we do send it away, I know final words on what we have seen.
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break from the Rocket, right? I'm going to be casting in APAC next weekend, but I hear we have some Sam action coming up next week, right?
Oh, certainly a bit of Sam action, who potentially will be in that day 3. We don't know yet, but that could be the case as well. But from the entirety of the crew here on the Rocket, we hope you had a fantastic evening, but we will be back, of course, next week for the entirety of, I was going to say the entirety of Sam, only day 3, but tune in until then, but good night.